Okay, with our fixture table here, most important thing is keeping this clean before, during, and after welding. So with welding, MIG is going to be the most popular here on this table. So we've got a gun holder here, so nice and convenient with that. The other thing with these tables is the ground. So when you're ready to weld on here and tack this together, that having this ground connection on the material here is important. If you put it down on here, what'll happen is the electricity will come up through and it'll arc onto the table, and you get little pock marks on there. So always try to keep that on there, super important. Another thing here as we're welding is these little shim blocks here. So with the shim blocks, what this does is it elevates, so the way elevates this off the table, so when we go to weld, we can put a little spatter shield under here, and then that'll help protect the table as well. So instead of putting that right on the table, so just some helpful tips there. If you do get spatter on the table, this will scrape, so you're scraping any of the balls off. You can modify these a little bit so you can get down to the holes and scrape that way. And then just to clean these right out, because the smoke and grime and everything like that, is just cleaning those up. Now you can get this style with a drill, then you can work it on the drill and it'll spin, and then that'll clean that as well. And then what we don't want to do is no using the grinder or the blending pad. You do not want to do that. When it comes to this, we've got this block here, the stone. This one's the rough one, that's the smooth one. And then as we go to smooth this out, WD-40 would work better, but I got the silicone spray here for today. Put that on there. That'll clean that up, depending on how much you got to take off, but that'll keep this really nice and flat. With spatter and stuff, what you could do is we've got this spatter, EnviroSpat, and then we could just spray this all over the table, and then this here will dry half an hour, 45, and that's going to help all the spatter on the table. So put all that down before you do your fixturing, so that's super important. And then just some parts here. So we've got these hold downs here. As you turn them, the balls come out. And then here's a stop. So with this, it's a 50 millimeter table here. So each one of these holes is 25 millimeters. That one will go right up to the line. That's halfway. And then that one's right on the line. So you just stick these in the holes like this, tighten them up, and then there you go. If you want them tighter, you can go like that, or if they get too tight, you can use this to get that off there as well. Also, we have these, if it's not a perfect whirl all the time, or you run out of space there, you can use something like this, and then that will bring it in or out as well. That's pretty handy. Another thing that we have here is an angle gauge, so you can use this and then spin this on an angle. It's got little increments here. And then even with this one here, we can use this one this way, or we can use this one this way as well. We can put one here, then that'll pivot on here, and we can lock that down for an angle. So pretty handy with that one. With these clamps here, this one here, we can go straight up and down. Plus we can push sideways as well, and we can lower this down or up. That would be the same with these clamps over here, just like your standard bar clamp. That one's a little tight, so that's what this is for. Loosen that off a little bit. I can bring that up or down as well, so pretty easy that way. We could use wedges. Just kind of want to demonstrate that. Wedges are a thing, and they can be used to tighten that in. They just don't hold it down. That's the only problem with the wedges. If you're using this style of clamp here, the C-type clamp, the cam lock, do make sure you use them on the stop side, because when you put these down, when you cam it, it does, and you can see that just kind of pulls in this way. So if you were to come over onto this other side, put them down over here, if you used it, you can see that pull away. So unless you had a stop here, which you're not going to, because you're only going to have stops on the one side. So it's super important that you're doing that there. And then even with the stops, making sure that we put them on the side with the fillet, because it's going to have the most pull when you're coming over. So try to do that. Over here on this side, these ones are a little incorrect. So what'll happen is that could pull down because we got this clamp here. So even though the welding sequence should always be this weld first, and then this weld from here to here, welding outward, that will hold that. And the last thing you want to do is the fillet, because you're going to get the least distortion coming over. Because if you welded this first, that's going to have your most amount of pull, and that could pull away from there. So super important when you are welding these, weld it here, here, and here. Then you'll have to flip this over to weld the other side. That's just how that's going to go. So that's a bit on the clamping and the stops and everything there. And then we'll do another quick video just on how to put this together with the drawing. So it's good for now.